right, let's just jump right in. When you picture a Labrador Retriever, you're probably picturing a happy-go-lucky family dog chasing a tennis ball, right? But what if I told you that's not even half the story? That friendly face actually belongs to a maritime engineer, a genetic marvel, and a biological detection system all rolled into one. Today, we're going to unpack the truly unexpected history behind the world's most popular dog. And that's really the big question here, isn't it? Its incredible popularity kind of hides its incredible complexity. We see the family pet, but we totally miss the purpose-built athlete and the scientific curiosity that's hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so for starters, their original job wasn't fetching sticks in the backyard. Nope. They were bred to work in the freezing cold waters of the North Atlantic, hauling heavy fishing nets and retrieving fish that fell out. Yeah, a little different from a cozy spot on the living room rug. And that classic lab trait, the bottomless stomach? It's not just some funny personality quirk. We're going to dive into a specific genetic mutation that actually hardwires many labs to feel hungry all the time. A trait that we humans have, maybe by accident, turned into a kind of superpower. And finally, get this. Their nose is one of the most sophisticated pieces of detection equipment on the entire planet. And I'm not just talking about sniffing out a drop piece of cheese. We're talking about an ability to sense things that even our most advanced technology can sometimes miss. All right, first things first, let's get one big misconception out of the way. The Labrador Retriever? Well, it's not actually from Labrador. So their story actually kicks off over in Newfoundland, Canada, with their ancestor, a dog called the St. John's Water Dog. Back in the 1800s, British fishermen saw these dogs in action and were so blown away by their work ethic and swimming skills that they were like, we gotta bring these dogs back home to England. And that's what they did. Over time, aristocratic breeders in England refined them into the dog we know today, and they named them after the Labrador Sea they had to cross to get there. And you can see that rough and tumble origin story written all over their bodies. Seriously, you could think of a lab less as a dog and more like a piece of high-tech maritime engineering. I mean, every single one of these features is there for a reason. That thick double coat, it's not just for warmth, it's practically waterproof. Their famous otter tail is super thick and powerful, and it works just like a rudder, letting them steer in the water. And their webbed feet, they give them extra power, making them just phenomenal swimmers. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? This is the famous soft mouth. Think about it. That skill was absolutely essential for their job of bringing back delicate birds for hunters without crushing them. This mix of incredible gentleness and raw strength is really one of the things that makes a lab a lab. Okay, so we've covered the body, but their physical build is only half the picture. We've got to talk about their mind. Labradors have this unique kind of intelligence that's all about cooperation. And this is exactly why they're the go-to breed for service work. It's like the perfect recipe. They're super trainable, they're really tuned in to their handler's emotions, they have a rock-solid temperament, and very low aggression. Some smart breeds are really independent, but labs, they're just wired to work with us as a team. All right, remember I mentioned their incredible nose? Get ready for a number that's just staggering. A typical human nose has about 6 million scent receptors. A Labrador's can have up to 300 million. They don't just smell more, they smell in a way we can't even imagine. They analyze scents in layers, which is how they can detect things like a person's low blood sugar, or even certain types of cancer, sometimes long before our own machines can. All right, let's talk about food, because if you've ever known a lab, you know the struggle. That legendary appetite, it turns out that constant begging might be hardwired right into their DNA. So scientists have actually pinpointed a mutation in a gene called POMC. Now, basically, what this gene does is help tell the brain, hey, we're full, you can stop eating now. But when this mutation is there, it's like that I'm full signal gets turned way, way down. This can leave the dog feeling like it's starving, even right after a big meal.
But here's where it gets really interesting. So you've got this dog that is always motivated by food. And what does that mean? It means they're ridiculously easy to train with treats. It's wild to think that we humans, probably without even knowing it, kept choosing the dogs with this genetic glitch because that intense drive for food made them such eager and trainable partners. But, being the most popular dog in the world, it's not all good news. It actually comes with a pretty heavy price tag. The breed's popularity has led to some pretty big problems, from their health to a split in what it even means to be a Labrador. All that demand has led to overbreeding, and that's made some serious health issues way too common, like bad joints and a genetic condition called exercise-induced collapse. And remember that POMC gene? Well, it makes that natural tendency towards obesity a really serious health risk if owners aren't super careful. Another weird side effect of their popularity is that the breed has kind of split in two. You've got the American, or field-bred lab. They're leaner, have a ton more energy, and are a lot closer to those original working dogs. And then you have the English, or show-bred lab. They're stockier, often calmer. And this is a huge deal for anyone thinking about getting a lab because you're getting very different dogs. But even with all those challenges, there's one thing that's undeniable, that incredible bond they have with us. So, what's the secret? Why do we feel that connection so deeply? Well, the science is just fascinating. It's all about a hormone called oxytocin. You might know it as the love hormone. Studies show that when you and your lab just look at each other, both of your brains get this little hit of oxytocin. It's literally a biochemical feedback loop of love. And that right there, that's the whole story in a nutshell. Their sweet nature isn't some happy accident. It is the result of centuries of partnership. For generations, we've been shaping them, choosing the ones that wanted to work with us, to be on our team. So what's the big takeaway here? The next time you see a lab chasing a ball in the park, I hope you see something more. You're looking at a living piece of history, a testament to a powerful partnership between two species, designed by nature and fine-tuned by us for a life of working together. So I'll ask you this. Next time you see a Labrador, are you just going to see a family pet, or will you see the maritime engineer with the genetic superpower hiding in plain sight?